Well, this is one of my favorite shows. I did this show back in college, back in the mid-'70s. It's been the longest running musical in New York, 21,000 plus performances. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. And I think it's some of the prettiest music ever written. I love the story, but more importantly, I like the writing in the show. That there was a sense of lyrical poetry to the show that I'm always attracted to. It's what attracted me to Peterman in Seinfeld, was that sense of this kind of lyrical writing, that sense of prose. So it was very compelling to me to do this, and they called up and they wanted to do something fun with the show here in New York, and so they said, "Would you come in for a short term?" And I said, "Fine, let's do it around the holidays because I love being here for the holidays." Well, I had never met the real person. I literally just went over there for back in I think it was May of '95, April of '95, and they handed me a J. Peterman catalog. And they said, "We just want him to sound the way the catalog is written, as though this prose is just tripping off of his tongue, with a size, a price, and an availability of each." So in reading the catalog, it was bizarre to me. I'd never seen anything like it. It was a pastel drawing with a kind of Hemingway-style description of not only what the object was, but also the availability, and just bizarre. And there was like a story that went along with it, but it was like you were climbing K2 in your Oxford button-down. It was just this really, really strange. So as I read it, I just said it's kind of reminds me a little bit of a 40s radio drama and a bit of a bad Charles Kuralt. And so that was the origin of the voice and the whole manifestation of the character. He was a legend in his own mind. Jerry reminds me of every guy that I grew up with in the neighborhood. He's just that normal guy in the neighborhood, that type of feel. And true to form, Jerry would just sit in the background there with his hands in his pockets, or a bowl of cereal in his hand. And he always kind of looked like a tourist on the set. There was never a sense of, it wasn't proprietary. It wasn't his set. And he just, he was very gracious in terms of creating an atmosphere where everybody felt comfortable to explore and to try and to create this product that we ended up handing to NBC every week. So it was always a safe place to perform. Well, it was, I would say it was a little bit like kind of a surreal version of Lou Grant and Mary Tyler Moore. It was that to another level, I would say. But it was, she was always Elaine was always the consummate victim in the workplace, and Peterman, showed absolutely no sensitivity to anything else but his own, the legend in his mind. But everything everything about J. Peterman was always an adventure. Even a trip to the latrine was always. Yeah, that relationship was really special. It really was, and made all the better by Julia's performance. I mean, she's one of the most. I can't say I've worked with a funnier comedian in my entire career. She, not only from the standpoint of what she can do with what she says, but the way that she commits her entire body to the joke. Hence the Elaine dance, hence the get out, all the things that she coined and christened on the show really were just an element of the fact of her total commitment. I try to fill up my menu of children's programming as much as I can because I believe in it so strongly, and I think I like to have good stuff for kids to watch, and I like to be part of it as well. So that and Phineas and Ferb I'm on, and probably half a dozen other cartoons, Scooby-Doo and Mickey Mouse. It's I just have this kind of grasp of the stentorian, if you know what I mean, that sense of that. It's just something that comes easily to me. So King Neptune had this big, big, powerful voice, and Spongebob, that was quite a burger.